Hi there. 2 days ago, no, yesterday, in fact, actually yesterday, I gave a talk on a platform where I was invited to talk called Walking Your Talk. And today I knew I wanted to shoot a video for you, and I decided to just come along and elaborate a little bit on that old saying about walking your talk, which most people think is about, following through on your word, acting with integrity. If you say you're going to do something, you do it, you follow through. So, and that's a wonderful, wonderful quality, character asset that many people don't seem to have, and those people who do get along a little farther in life, get a little bit more respect from their peers, etc. But for me, walking your talk is a little bit more than that, really. It's about being cognizant of the conversation that you're having, not just with people out in the world, and doing the things that you say you're going to do. It's having that conversation with yourself, that ongoing, continuous, 24/7 inner conversation. Okay, so when we're dreaming, when we're asleep and we're dreaming, for most people, they don't have any control. It's just subconscious processing, a bunch of background noise. They may or may not remember their dreams. Other people practice something called lucid dreaming, but we won't talk about that. I want to talk about the 16 hours or something that you are awake, aware, conscious of being alive, and capable of thinking intentionally, on purpose. So, all day long, according to neuroscientists, we have about 60,000 thoughts per day. Okay? So we're constantly thinking. And that thinking is our conversation with ourselves. So that conversation that we're having with ourselves is actually us continuously describing reality to ourselves, right? So I'm walking along here and I could be thinking any number of things, but whatever my mind, without my control, without my conscious control, whatever my mind decides it's going to think about, is me unconsciously describing reality to myself. Reacting to, responding to my environment, thinking about things I should have done, could have done, would have done, maybe imagining the things I will be doing, and or better yet, even better yet, thinking intentionally about the things that I am in the process of creating, the things that I want to bring out into the world. Okay, so in any case, we're having this conversation, ongoing conversation with ourselves, which is our way of describing reality to ourselves. We're saying, I'm walking along here, for example, and I'm going like, okay, I'm on the edge of a farmer's cornfield here, and this is corn, right? Probably GMO feed corn for cattle, but nevertheless, it's corn. And without me really thinking about it, my subconscious mind is saying, you're walking through a cornfield, right? So then I know where I am on my planet. I'm going for a hike, all of that kind of stuff, right? All of this, you might think that's all, incidental information that's not important, but it actually is. Because when we allow ourselves to have this continuing conversation with ourselves about reality, about our perspective of reality, about our response to outside stimuli, and about certain internal processes that are taking place, emotional responses to our world, things we're undergoing at the present moment, experiences that we've had and the emotional responses to those experiences, the concern, the worry, the hopes, the dreams, the goals we've set for ourselves. Hey there, how you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Excellent, thank you. Can I help you?
No, just out for a little ride.
Okay, well, I'm shooting a video for Facebook.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were waiting me down to stop me.
Oh, no, say hi.
Well, how you doing? Have a good day, bud.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, so here we are. Run across a guy on a bike. Where were we? Oh yeah, internal conversations constantly describing or affirming or reaffirming our picture of reality to ourselves. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, what it means in the sense of relationship to walking your talk is that you are not necessarily in the external world in response to, relationship with other people and whatnot, talking about what you're going to do, how you're going to behave, and then following through on that commitment, because that's what it is. When you say you're going to do something, it's a commitment. But when you're talking to yourself and you're unaware of that conversation, you are actually still walking your talk. And if that conversation is scattered or unfocused, shall we say, and not directed specifically at the things that you want to be creating in the world, enacting in the world, constructing, contributing creatively to the world, if that conversation that you're having is not about that, but about this whole historical narrative that you've got going on, if it's about that and it's unconscious, then you're walking through life with that conversation controlling your steps. Each little step, 1, 2, 3, each little step is determined by that conversation. So you're walking your talk, right? You're creating your reality, your future reality, by your present steps, your present actions, your present movements through life. And if you're allowing them to be controlled by a historical narrative that is unconscious and that you are mostly unaware of, 60,000 thoughts, how many of them are you aware of, right? Like, really. The consistent strain of conversation is something that we can become aware of, not each individual thought. So if I'm constantly in my mind talking to myself about how difficult life is, or how complex it is, or how limited I am, or how my circumstances determine my reality, if I'm telling myself that, if that's the conversation I'm having with myself, then obviously as I walk through life, I'm going to produce things that reinforce that underlying belief, that conversation that I have with myself. So when I'm unaware of what I'm telling myself, if you will, if I'm unaware of what I'm telling myself, and what I'm telling myself determines how I go about walking through life, and how I go about walking through life ends up, shaping the results that I get to have in life, then it becomes kind of apparent that it's important to look at that conversation I'm having with myself, to understand at least the threads of it, right? The major currents of that conversation, the continuous, repetitive nature of that conversation, and to ask, how does that serve me? Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? How does it serve me? What is my intention in thinking these thoughts? How does it serve me to think this way? And to recognize that you can consciously and intentionally train yourself to start thinking about things that do serve you, that are beneficial, that actually contribute to your life, that enable you to become a more consciously creative human being, capable of doing bigger, better, bolder things out in the world, right? So, where do I want to go with this? I guess the process is to stop every once in a while throughout the day and simply pay attention, right? Take a deep breath, just stop and say, what was I thinking about just now? what exactly was I thinking about just now? What was running through my mind? And why was it there? And what purpose did it serve? And if, it turns out that there's no purpose, or it happens to be even worse, a detrimental purpose, detrimental, I mean, to your well-being, right? If it's taking away from your personal power to effectuate the life that you want to live, then it's non-productive thought, obviously. So ask yourself continuously what it is that you're thinking throughout the day. Just stop, like I said, take a deep breath and say, what was I thinking and why? Okay, I know I'm beating up on this subject a little bit, but it's critically important, seriously important, because most people do not do that. They don't think on purpose. They think accidentally. They allow this societal narrative, especially those who tune into the TV set all the time, they allow this societal narrative to determine not just what they think, but worse than that, how they think, right? So, asking yourself questions like, what am I thinking and why? Or, what does this do to serve me? Are critical questions, right? Because it allows you to become an empowered human being. It allows you to say, okay, this is me, this is my life. I get to be in control of my life, at least to some degree. I know I can't control the sunshine or can't control the rotation of the planet. And I can't really control what my friend the forest does, right? It just does what it does. I mean, I could come out with a chainsaw and cut a couple trees down, but I mean, nature does what it does, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. We can't control that, and we probably don't want to control that. There are a few psychopaths out there who think that they need to control nature, but Mother Nature always gets the last laugh, one way or the other. Even if it requires the extinction of a species like us, she will have the last laugh. In any case, learn to think intentionally. Learn to think independently of your cultural noise level, that background noise. Learn to think critically. Learn to ask yourself all the time, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking that way? And if you take the time to do that, you will soon come to recognize that you have started to become a sovereign individual. And being sovereign means that you own yourself. Literally, you own yourself. So you don't fall victim to various fads, societal trends, or political bullshit that is spewed out of that black box or flat screen that sits in your living room, right? Or that peer pressure in your society tells you should be doing. You are capable of being free and capable of owning yourself and capable of going out into the world and being a contribution to your fellow human beings. Right? And that all starts from learning to look at how you are thinking, what you are thinking, and why you are thinking it, right? Where does that thought come from, right? Where does it come from? Okay, so I suppose I've beat up on this subject enough for now, and this video is what now, 14 minutes long, coming up on that. That's long enough for an attention span. I'm out hiking in the woods in a brand new pair of hiking shoes, which is a glory. So this is the test run, that test run for the new hiking shoes. And they are indeed very comfortable, and I'm enjoying having them. So anyway, that's it. Go out and walk your talk. Go out and do something in the world. Go out and enjoy being alive. Go out and think intentionally, on purpose, with a purpose. Go do something. Start thinking. Thank you.